Hello, here we are going to see about the Unit 5 continuation part. Here in this topic we are going to see about the wavelength division multiplexing and also the dense wavelength division multiplexing. So first one is wavelength division multiplexing. So wavelength division multiplexing technology which will involve the transmission of number of different peak wavelength optical signals in parallel to the single optical fiber. So an increase in an information capacity of the fiber can be achieved by simultaneous transmission of optical signals over the same fiber from many different light sources. So by operating the each source at the different peak wavelength, the integrity of independent messages from each source is maintained for subsequent conversion of electric signals at the receiving end. So this is the basis of WDM. So here the WDM standards are developed by International Telecommunication Union, which will specify the channel spacing in terms of frequency. The wavelength division multiplexing is designed to use the high data rate capability of the fiber optic cable. So the optical fiber data rate is higher than the data rate of mechanical transmission cable. So but using the fiber optic cable for single line, the ways are the available bandwidth. So multiplexing will allow us to combine these several lines into one. So for example, consider the n number of sources operating at different peak emission wavelength values of lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda 3, etc. up to lambda n are multiplexed and sent through the single fiber. The next one is WDM is analog multiplexing to combine the optical signals. So it will combine with the multiple light sources into one light, and it will modulate each of these several light data streams onto different part of the light spectrum. So it is the optical equivalent of frequency division multiplexing. So it is conceptually same as TDM, and it just involves the optical medium with waves of very high frequency. So the optical medium has higher bandwidth or a data rate than the copper medium. So it will utilize the higher bandwidth or data rate. So here the WDM is nothing but n independent optically formatted information streams, each transmitted at a different wavelength, are combined with the optical multiplexer and sends over the same fiber. So applications of WDM. So there are so many applications. Here first one is SONET, that is synchronous optical network. The second one is new technology is dense wavelength division multiplexing. The third one is the dense wavelength division multiplexing is a technology that will puts the data from different sources together on an optical fiber with each signal carried at the same time on its own separate light wavelength. So it can also multiplex very large number of channels by spacing the channels and very close to each other. So it is also achieves the greater efficiency. Advantages of WDM. So the first one is full duplex transmission is possible for here, and it is easier to reconfigure the optical components which are similar, and more it is reliable. So the disadvantages are signals can't come very close. So it is also the light wave carrying WDM are limited to 2-point circuits. Types of WDM. There are two types of WDM. One is unidirectional WDM and another one is bidirectional WDM. Let me see one by one. So unidirectional WDM. So it means it is used to combine the different sources, and the bidirectional WDM system is one which will two or more wavelengths and are transmitted simultaneously in opposite directions over the same fiber. So the conversions from the wavelength spectral band to frequency band can be obtained as del V by V, that is equal to del lambda by lambda. So that is C is equal to V lambda, that is V is equal to C by lambda. So now we are substituting here that we will get a modulus del V is equal to C by lambda squared into modulus del lambda. So this is the equation that will translate the wavelength deviation and the del lambda about a given wavelength, that is lambda into corresponding frequency deviation, that is a del B. Next one is categories of multiplexing. So the basic categories of multiplexing are, first the multiplexing is divided into two types. One is analog and another one is digital. So in the analog multiplexing there is two types. One is frequency division multiplexing and another one is wave division multiplexing. In the digital format we can find out the time division multiplexing. So these are the categories of multiplexing. So next one is coarse wavelength division multiplexing. So it means it is typically 4 to 16 wavelengths per fiber, and the space between the wavelengths are several hundred of nanometers. So effective bandwidth utilization is less. So it is difficult to amplify and it is a low cost. So the next one is ultra dense wavelength division multiplexing. So it is typically 100 plus wavelengths per fiber. And the third one is dense wavelength division multiplexing. It is typically 32 plus wavelengths per fiber, and the wavelengths are close together and it will be increased density and capacity. The DWDM means a dense wavelength division multiplexing, and it is a technology that will use the more than 8 multiplex signals to transmit many wavelengths of light simultaneously over a single optical fiber. So this DWDM technique will be requires the stringent control requirement in the respect of frequency stability in order to avoid any interference or overlapping of channels. So next is AWDM system. So a basic AWDM system which will contain several main components. That is a DWDM terminal multiplexer, an intermediate line repeater, an intermediate optical terminal, DWDM terminal demultiplexer, and the optical supervisory channel. So these are the main components of the DWDM systems. Why we are going for WDM? It means here we are having the four conditions to we are going for the WDM. So they are capacity upgraded. So it means it is of existing fiber networks and without adding the fibers. Second one is transparency, and in each optical channels it can carry any transmission format, that is a different asynchronous bit rates, analog or digital. The third one is scalability, that is it can buy and install the equipments for additional demand as needed. And the fourth one is wavelength routing and switching. So the wavelength is used as another dimension to time and space. This is the block diagram of DWDM system. Here the latest recombination of ITU-T for a DWDM allows fixed channel spacing ranging from 12.5 GHz to 100 GHz. Here the practical DWDM systems are much more complex and it is illustrated in the figure. So here each channel system with 64 wavelengths and each carrying 10 gigabits per second data. So the DWDM link contains an optical amplifier along the path. So these inline amplifiers can boost an optical power level which is irrespective of the optical wavelength without the transforming light signal into the electrical domain. So at the transmitter side, the sources are primarily tunable laser sources with an extremely narrow line width. So the power from the transmitter operating at different wavelengths which can be attenuated with the help of variable attenuators. Next one is ITU-TG. So the ITU will be stands for suggests the OSCs should utilize the OC3 signal structure. Through some vendors which has been opted to use the 100 megabit Ethernet or another signal format. So the transponders in some systems will support 40 GHz nominal operation, and it may also perform forward error corrections via digital wrapper technology. So it is described in the ITU-TG 709 standard. So through ITU TG 694.1 frequency grid, it is easier to integrate WDM with the older but more standard SONET or SDH systems. So this is the ITU-T standard transmission DWDM windows. Here the nominal central frequency or channel frequency in the T Hertz for DWDM anchored at 193.1 T Hertz is computed as follows. That is CF is equal to 193.1 into plus N into 0.0125, that is for 12.5 GHz channel spacing. It is for, if it is for 25 GHz channel spacing, we have to multiply it with 0.025, and if for 50 GHz means we have to multiply it with 0.05, and for 100 GHz means we have to multiply it with 0.01, where n's are 0, plus or minus 1, 2, 3, etc. like that. DWDM limitations. So theoretically we have a large number of channels that can be packed into the fiber. So for physical realization of DWDM networks, we need to precise the wavelength selective devices. So optical amplifiers are imperative to provide the long transmission distance and without the repeaters. So these are the limitations of the DWDM system. Thank you.